Go and sit in a Rolls Royce. Visit the Rolls Royce dealership. Walk inside. Greet the staff that work in the dealership. Have a look at the cars. And open the door of either the Rolls Royce Phantom or the Rolls Royce Cullinan. And sit inside. Take in the experience of being in the most luxurious cars on the planet. Have a feel for the materials, the very finest of materials. It will be a sensory overload for many of you because it truly is a special experience. You are cocooned in luxury, in opulence. And I guarantee you're going to be smiling. I guarantee you when you're sat inside the Cullinan or the Phantom, you're going to be smiling. You're going to feel different. And some of you may even feel anxious because you don't yet have the funds to purchase one of those cars. But this is a very strategic exercise. Many of you feel that you don't deserve to purchase these nice things. You feel like, well, Ali, I can't afford it, so why am I here? Why would I go in? What you are aiming to do here is reprogram the way you view wealth. The reason why you're uncomfortable going inside and sitting in one of these cars is because subconsciously you don't feel like you deserve to be in one of those cars. And that's what we need to change. I want you to begin with the end in mind. I want you to act as the person you intend on becoming. Eliminate this mentality of, well, if I can't afford it, then I won't go in there and embarrass myself. This is why you will probably never be able to afford one. When you were a child, you dreamt of one day driving a Ferrari or a Porsche. In fact, I saw an advert that Porsche did once that said, had a picture of a Porsche 911. And below it, it said, let's face it, you didn't grow up dreaming of owning a Mitsubishi. It's almost like a little dig at Mitsubishi, right? And it's harsh, but it's true. When you're young, what do you dream of owning? Ferraris. When I was young, it was mostly Ferrari. But today's kids are going to dream of owning Lambos as well and Bugattis. And you dream of owning the best of the best. You don't dream of one day owning a Toyota Corolla or a Vauxhall Corsa. No, I'm not taking a dig at those who own those cars, because you got to start somewhere, right? But if you asked anyone on the street, would you trade your Vauxhall Corsa for a Rolls Royce? 100% of the time, unless someone is really attached to a vehicle for some sentimental reason, or maybe they're rich anyways. Like, let's just say 99.9% of the time, people will say, hell yeah. Without any hesitation. Why is that? Because you know a Rolls Royce is the best of the best. It's in a whole nother bracket, a league of its own. And you know the value of a Rolls Royce. This is £500,000, more than houses in some neighborhoods. I want you to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And also what it does when you go and visit these showrooms. And also, by the way, visiting these $1 million, $2 million, $3 million show homes as well. Not just, doesn't just apply to cars. This also applies to houses as well. Walk in like you're a serious buyer. Okay, yeah, show me around. Yeah, all right, fantastic. I love the chandelier, love the grand staircase. Incredible. And does it also come with, act serious? Because there are many successful people that were once in those positions, doing those things. Visiting these show homes, visiting these dealerships, just envisioning where they will be. Beginning with the end in mind. There's a very popular book out there. Many of you have read it. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Robert Kiyosaki says in the book that most people have the mindset of, I can't afford it. Instead, ask yourself, how can I afford it? I can't. It's a limiting phrase. It will box you in and prevent you from finding ways to solve the problem. If the problem is you don't earn a lot of money. Stop saying I can't afford it. A lot of you have been programmed by your parents during your childhood to fear money, to feel like anyone who has a lot of money is a corrupt, evil human being who looks down on the poor, takes advantage of the poor, scams or tricks people. So you've grown up resenting wealth as a whole. Oh, I don't want to be rich. I just want to be happy. As if you can't be both. Who says you can either be rich or happy? And I always talk about how money in general is a consequence of value. So it's not like you're just going to snap your finger and be rich. It takes work. It takes dedication, years of consistency, productive work. But you need to slowly unlearn the way that you've been programmed. Reset yourself to factory settings. Go back, in fact, to the child who dreamt of the Porsche, who dreamt of the Ferrari, the mini you. Your parents probably have videos of you saying, Mom, I can't wait till I one day buy a Porsche, or maybe a picture of you holding a toy Porsche when you were young and you're just grinning from side to side, from ear to ear. You're just so excited. I mean, I used to buy loads of toy cars when I was a child. Actually, my parents used to buy them for me. But even when I was 12, 13, 14, I'd always tell my parents to buy me car magazines and stuff. And I would always look at the cars with 700 horsepower or 600. I was like, wow, this is amazing. But I want you to go back to that young boy who envisioned these things. What happens is, as we age, those dreams get kicked out of us. And a lot of us end up thinking realistically. And maybe people have told you, oh, come on, get a grip. People that are able to afford such cars are doing X, Y, Z. Maybe you've heard someone say, oh, they're dodgy anyways, and whoever buys a car like that is bad or whatever. So you're like, okay, you know what, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. And you just settle. You stop dreaming. And that's where the issue is. You stopped dreaming. At some point, you decided to drop those dreams that you once had. Let me tell you something. Those cars are being sold. As we speak, someone is putting in an order for a Rolls Royce Phantom. As we speak, a $7 million home is currently being sold. Those people that are purchasing those cars and those homes are not better than you. Some of them started off in situations that were less favorable than your current situation. Let me remind you of that. You think that rich people are just inherently evil scammers and fraudsters. Some started off with a circumstance that was way less favorable than yours. And look at what they achieved. That should be a source of inspiration for you. And let me tell you this as well. There's no shortage of money. There's a lot of scaremongering online, on TV, It's all about debt and inflation and this and that. And a lot of us just start holding on to our money like that little squirrel in Ice Age holding on to that acorn. Oh God, no, I can't. I have to hold on to it. There is plenty of money out there. So much money. So much. In fact, there's enough money to go round for everyone to be a millionaire. But obviously we don't live in an ideal world where you can equally distribute funds. And Jim Rohn once said, if you took all the money in the world and you divided it equally amongst everyone, it will soon find its way back in the same pockets. And that's more so because of the mentality of the rich as opposed to anything else. So think like that wealthy person today. I'm not saying be reckless and spend, if you have $2,000 in your account, spend $2,000 on a belt or something, a Gucci belt. I'm not saying do that, no. But I want you to have those powerful experiences because you're not the same after. When you leave that showroom, that Rolls Royce showroom, you feel inspired. There's something different about you. Now, obviously, you've got to do something with this new found inspiration. But something happens to you. You know, this is an activity I still do today, by the way. I'm not saying that I own a Rolls Royce currently. I own a nice Jaguar XJ, long wheelbase, which I love. But when I sat in a Rolls Royce Phantom, in the front and in the back, because you best believe if I have a Phantom, I'm driving it as well. Just a fat car, just boss car. But when I sat in, I took the whole experience. And I tell you what, when I left that showroom, I felt so inspired. I felt like I wanted to go out there and grind harder. My standards for myself shot through the roof. If they can, why can't I? Was another question that came into my mind. If they can do it, if someone is placing an order on this vehicle today, why can't I? God didn't create those people with inherent gifts. They weren't chosen by God to be able to purchase a Rolls Royce one day. No. Some people are born into more favorable circumstances, and I do agree. But I'm not going to use that as an excuse. I'm not going to use that as a get out of jail free card. Well, it's because his dad's rich. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll give you that one. Some people, their dads are rich. Cool. But there are also people whose fathers, whose parents were not wealthy. In fact, poor. And look, we're talking about materialistic possessions here because this is an activity I want you to do. Obviously, success doesn't translate solely to money. Money is a measure of success. Earl Nightingale, just to remind you, defined success in the best possible way. It's the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. As long as you're progressing in something that you deem worthy, then you are a success. If you're a teacher who loves to teach and you can't wait to wake up in the morning and go to school and teach those young kids and inspire the future generation, you're a success. It's not just about who owns a Lambo and a Rolex or whatever. No. Although this activity that I want you to do will change you. It will inspire you. And even if you are a teacher who loves to teach, why not enjoy some nicer things? Because once again, if you give most people the choice of being able to upgrade the place they live in or the car they drive, most people with any rational sense would say, yeah, why not? All right, so expand your horizons. Stop thinking small. If your parents were worried about money and taught you to fear the rich, change that. You could be the one to change the family tree entirely. You could be the one to disrupt it all. Your lineage could have been fairly average, economically speaking, up until this point. Then you come along and you change the game. You're that motherfucker that for future generations will be remembered. So engage in that activity and let me know. Let me know how you felt after. I can guarantee you will feel different. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like. Comment down below. Maybe come back to this video after you've gone to the showroom as well, and let me know. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next one.